Hi guys, this is Tom from Moonshine Tech with a review of Mega Man 2 for the iPhone and iPod Touch. Now I assume if you're wanting to buy Mega Man 2, you already know what the game is about, but if you don't, here's a quick recap. Mega Man 2 is perhaps one of the highest rated games on the NES. It's a side-scrolling platformer with shooting elements, and it was known for its notorious difficulty, which we need to keep in mind, seeing as this is an iPhone game. Now the game used to just feature a portrait view, but in a recent update, a landscape view has been added as well. You can change the landscape view simply by flipping the device during play, or if you don't want screen changes interrupting your play, you can turn it on and off in a menu. There's also a classic mode that's been added, and the only thing I can think that's changed from the classic mode is that you're not allowed a rapid fire by holding the button. The game itself feels just generally more floaty than the original NES version. Mega Man can be controlled more when he jumps, and whilst this stage isn't the best to show the new dynamics, Mega Man can also jump higher than he could in the original version. Apart from that, the game is still the same. The level design is all still the same. The classic music's still there, though it seems to cut out at strange points. And the game is a lot easier if you're playing in easy mode. However, normal mode, the difficulty begins to ramp up, and even if you're good at Mega Man, you'll find yourself dying in places that you wouldn't in the NES version because of the awkward control scheme. Now, the on-screen controls aren't as bad as they have been in other on-screen control games. However, the issue is still there. However, this seems like it was a known issue, due to the floaty controls, which seem to counteract the difficult control scheme in a way. The game's 3 difficulty modes seem to change your strength and the strength of your enemies. In easy mode, you are extremely strong and your enemies are extremely weak. This makes the only challenge in the game the platforming bits. So you should be able to complete the game in an hour or so if you know what you're doing. Normal makes things a bit more challenging in both respects, which is a preferred difficulty. I assume the developers meant it as the default difficulty. And difficult is perhaps a bit too difficult, especially given the controls of the game, in that they're not as good as the original. But that's to be expected. This is an iPhone game with an on-screen controller. However, this is still Mega Man 2, and it's still a great game at its heart, despite certain control drawbacks. The landscape screen has helped, in a certain sense, but of course, you're still using on-screen controls, which can sometimes be frustrating. If you're a fan of Mega Man 2, then you're going to get some enjoyment out of this, and it's a good little thing to have on your iPhone. Of course, there are definitely better versions, but of course, the easy mode makes things easy enough just to have fun with it, and the challenge is there. That about does it for my review of Mega Man 2 for the iPhone and iPod Touch. It's available on the App Store now. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and follow us on Twitter. I'll put links in the sidebar.